All right, Harmony Science Academy, Algebra 2. We're going to be looking at attributes. Okay, we've seen it before. We've talked about it. You're going to see them. We're going to deal with attributes the whole year, okay? But in this case, with square roots, which means you guys have a lot of knowledge, and this should be a very smooth day, okay, of just practice. So, again, when you describe domain, we've got to use interval notation, inequality, set builder notation. Okay, domain, you want to show it, you understand it's X. Same thing with range, but it's dealing with Y. Okay, and then we've got our x-intercept, y-intercept. You need to show and you need to know that x-intercepts have a y of 0. Y-intercepts have an x equal to 0. Okay, something important to always know since Algebra 1 and before. Symmetry we'll talk about. It's not going to apply. Asymptotes don't either. Minimum and maximums are pretty typical. Okay. So anyways, let's just do one together so that you guys feel way more confident seeing it one time together. Okay. All right. So the way I have it listed here is as soon as you guys have these kinds of problems, okay, where dealing with attributes, you're going to have the same setup, okay? So from your notes, you'll just copy this and then fill it in. That's the easiest way to do it, okay? So we're going to do number 1. Here's the graph. Okay, let's go, I guess, blue. So domain, right? My x looks from -3 to infinity, right? Doesn't go left anymore. So I guess I can draw like a box or something like this. Like a window. Okay, so there's no more graph here, -3, but the graph does keep on going this way, so -3 to infinity, same thing here. Okay, you can't equal infinity, but it is close, so you can equal -3. Okay, you'll lose a whole 10 points if you don't master this, so that little detail can cost you. Okay, so keep that in mind. Then set builder notation, you can squeeze in any one of these. Okay, we'll put the first one, x such that it goes from -3 to infinity. Okay, let's look at the range, which is the y. Same thing in this window. Can I go down? No. So it looks like -5 is the lowest. If I go up here, okay, will it continue going up? Yeah, it'll break through the window, so it keeps on going to infinity. Okay, so -5 to infinity. I can't equal infinity, but I can equal the -5. Okay, closed circle right there. Okay. And here with set builder notation, you can pick either one. Let's pick the second one. Okay, so this is a lot of knowledge, a lot of things in your brain that you have to show you're comfortable with. Okay, all right, x-intercept. Okay, y has to be 0, so I don't go up or down. Right, here's the origin. I don't go up or down. I just stay right here on this line. So where do I cross? Right here. Okay, 0, 0. All right. Now I go to, do I cross anywhere else? No. Okay. Now the y-intercept, same thing. The x has to be 0. So here's the origin. I don't go left, I don't go right, just I'm here at the origin. And once again, it's 0, 0. Okay, I probably should have picked a different one, but it's all good. Okay, because I want to see where I cross this line for the y-intercept. Where do I cross this line for the x-intercept? Symmetry. There's no symmetry, so we get lucky on this one. Asymptote. Okay, nothing that applies, so we're okay. As far as the maximum for this graph, right? I could say it's this, but this arrow says it keeps going, so there is no maximum. Okay, we'll put infinity, but technically does not exist. We'll put in parentheses. Okay? But this still helps. We'll put positive infinity because it could also be going down forever or something. I don't know. But in this case, positive infinity. The minimum, okay, happens to be right here. So it's -3 and -5. That's where we have a minimum occurring. All right. So really we're done, but I do have to kind of give you guys a little warning because sometimes, let me see here. All right. Sometimes they're going to restrict the domain, and they can do that. Okay. What this means is they might say, hey, we only care about a certain part of this graph. So they might say we only care about from here to here. Okay. So maybe things have changed. Maybe they're the same. I don't know. Okay. Let me see here. But they're going to tell you, okay, you don't have to guess. They'll say something like restriction from -3, right, all the way to 4. Okay. So then this is your window from here to here. Okay. This is all we care about now. So don't worry about all this other stuff. Nothing else exists. Okay. All right. So we're going to have to do the same thing, these attributes, but for the same graph in this restricted domain. Okay. Inside this smaller window. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's observe what changes, what doesn't change. Okay. We'll stay in green. So the domain from -3, and who's in here? 4. Okay. Can we equal both of them? Yes. And we'll squeeze in this one. Okay, so it's different because of this restriction. Okay, very important part of this lesson with square roots. Okay. All right, let's go to range. We go from, in this case, what? -4. And it looks like the highest one is 5. So it did change. Okay. So that's why we're having to look at it without restriction and with restriction, just to get that brain thinking. Okay. Can I equal both of them? Sure. Okay, set builder notation. All right. Now the x-intercept, that shouldn't change. And that one doesn't change, okay? It could, right? So be careful, okay? Symmetry, still no symmetry. Asymptote, no asymptote. The maximum, let's look at this graph. Is there a maximum in this case? Well, it looks like we hit that 5 mark. So we're going to say it's happening where? 4, 5. Again, why is there differences? Again, because of this restriction. So don't ignore this. This is very important. Okay. Minimum. Okay. The minimum's happening right here. So it looks like we go what? -3. -3, right? So -3 and -4. All right. Hopefully this helps. I think the only thing we'll need to pay attention to in class perhaps is when the x and y intercepts are not at the origin. We'll look at that carefully. We'll catch you guys in class. All right, and I just caught on to the fact that yes, it looks like this thing was playing tricks on my eyes. Okay, so this maximum value here is not, I was looking at it as 5, but it's actually 3. Okay, so that means it's gonna change here. going to change here. And of course here. Alright, so let me be careful. So this should be good. Negative 3 to 4. Negative 4 to 3. We should be good here, 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 and the maximum is occurring at 4, 3. Okay, and then we of course have the minimum, negative 3, 4. Negative 3, 4 right here. Okay, I guess the only thing, while we're adding more time to the video, is to understand that technically you might actually have somebody describe the maximum as 3. Okay, careful with that. And the minimum as negative 4, as opposed to a point. So keep that in mind. Okay, a lot of times here, all what we care about is the y value, the highest and the lowest. All right, guys, appreciate your time. Catch you in class.